All right.
And I will give it just a second to see if we have any attendees before doing the opener. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am Scott Clemens with Clackamas County's Public and Government Affairs Department. Welcome to today's Local Public Safety Coordinating Council meeting. Captain Malcolm McDonald, Director of Clackamas County's Community Corrections, will be chairing this meeting, and I'll turn it over to you now, Captain McDonald.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone, all our LPSC members, for making time to be here today. I really appreciate it. I know a few of you may need to leave after we get the vote done, but I appreciate having the quorum up here so we can get through this process. We have two items. First, we just need to approve minutes from March 6th, 20th. Okay, just the 6th and the 20th. If I could get someone to make a motion to approve those minutes and then someone to second them, and we'll get that piece out of the way.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Was there any? Well, I need a second.
Malcolm,
Yes.
I just had a comment about a very minor error on
Okay.
On the March 20th minutes on the first page. Let's see, second paragraph from the bottom, it mentions Sonji Moore.
Mhm.
Her name's just misspelled. It's SONJI instead of ANJI.
Okay.
Yeah, so just wanted to make
Thank
sure we got that corrected for the minutes.
Thank you for catching that. To
Yeah.
give a verbal second, I think I saw Judge Langer raise her hand, but for the record,
Verbal second, it is.
any further discussion on the minutes? Hearing no discussion, we'll go to, is there any nays or anyone that does not approve of the minutes? No response, there'll be an approval. We'll get those out of the way. Thank you. So the next item is all to me. We have Elizabeth sent out our preliminary application for the 23-25 Justice Reinvestment Program. Often we refer to it as JRI. CJC has renamed it to JRP. Our programs are continue. I'm going to maintain our current programs that we've operated. I think it's now 2 bienniums. The intent would be, provided the funding comes through, to maintain those, our pretrial program, our expanded CSAP Clackamas substance abuse program, and our support of our short-term transitional leave enhancement that we do with those individuals releasing from prison early. So no substantial changes. Of course, the budget is unknown. We will not know the exact dollar amount until legislative session is over. While the governor's adopted budget has a higher dollar figure than the past biennium, I'm anticipating that it will likely come in flat based on some conversations. We can be hopeful that there's additional money that would come in, so maybe we could do some additional work. One area of focus that I have considered is the individuals being placed on pretrial who are homeless, or those that are released from jail with a court date. That could be a forced release, that are also homeless but have a pending court date. Some concepts of doing some outreach work. There's some discussions from some groups on more work for that, for our justice involved population, and one piece of that for JRI could be that. It's just a concept of that is there, that I've kind of put a placeholder on, that we may have some more discussions about what that looks like exactly. I don't know yet, but I want to have that as a placeholder, and some discussions with SAGE. I can't speak today. CJC, Criminal Justice Commission, of some of the focus we're seeing in other areas of the state too. Overall, I think we stand a good chance of Criminal Justice Commission and JRI continue to be supportive legislatively, which is helpful. Many current justice reinvestment programs fund pretrial like we do around the state. That is a important component there was some uncertainty to that, whether we'd see pretrial be funded in another mechanism. But I have some assurances that will continue, so that program needs to continue to be maintained. That's overall. You hear me, so we present progress reports 4 times throughout the biennium about these programs, so there's really no substantial changes. The other important piece about JRI is there's 10% of that funding that goes to victims programs. We will have again a competitive process for those programs that we will start working on pretty much in the next month or so. The CJC has already released those questions. I just want to bring that up because the total dollar figure, we take 10% out of that and we do a competitive process for our local victim services program. So more to come on that. I bring that up because I'll be looking to some of you to help a subcommittee with that process. Some of you participated in that in the past. We'll come back to the application. I would like to open up if there's questions about what was presented in the preliminary application or about the process and what that looks like moving forward. Most of the membership's familiar with it. If there's not, I would love to hear a motion to approve the preliminary application.
Malcolm, this is Mary. I just have a quick,
Oh.
is there, there's no risk that there would be less funding than,
There's always like it
Okay.
is session. There is risk. There is no budget at this time. We cannot, the final application will be a submission of budget. So at that time, we will have to review what our allocation is and make determinations if we can fund the programs as they stand and kind of go from there. So we would likely be back before LIPSIC to review that budget process. If there's going to be substantial changes or if we're running any obstacles. The same goes if there's an increase in funding,
Okay.
what additions we may add.
yeah, and that was what I expected you to say. I think there's always an opportunity to then sort of look at, if there were to be, let's hope not, but who knows, a reduction, sort of where might there be both a recommendation from your seat around recommendations, and then where do we believe sort of our best investments would be if we had to see some reductions, and same with those increases. So thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome. I appreciate the question. Adam.
Yeah, one quick thing. I can't see where the STTL is spelled out. Just a little technical thing. May just want to put that the
Oh, all right.
or whatever.
Yes, no, we certainly can. I appreciate that. In my world, like many, we get these acronyms that we all know, short-term transitional leave. But it is an important aspect that we highlight that it is so we understand, because there's by statute requirements for the Department of Corrections to make individuals eligible for that, and then we support them in the community. But thank you.
Sure. And that wasn't the real reason I raised my hand. We just recently learned that we're in the planning phase of a new Department of Justice grant that we got for
Mhm.
providing employment services to those reentering society after incarceration. We just learned that we can provide those services to those who are in diversion programs, such as some of those that have been mentioned. And so I just thought, might be increase the strength of it. I mean, that's something that's changed since the last application. So it might be something that could maybe make the application a little stronger. But as we move forward, may want to be more intentional about integrating those.
Yeah, definitely. I know we've been working with your team on that particular side of it, and then on some other similar workforce improvements for individuals releasing from prison also. So I appreciate the work your team's doing on that. Now I'm going to actually look for the hands. I'm out of practice here, so. All right, I don't see any other hands raised electronically or any other discussion, or do we have a motion?
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
have a motion from Adam and a second from Bruce, and Christina also raised her hand for a motion there too, so I appreciate that. Is there any further items to discuss prior to going to a vote?
I just wanted to mention that Rod Cook joined.
Nice. I see his name there. Thank you, Rod, for making it. I appreciate it. So no further discussions. And as we do in this setting, is there any nays? Anyone opposed to the submission of the application? And no nays, no objections. The motion passes. Again, as always, I appreciate the LIPSIX membership's support and through these programs and getting through the process with me, and your input and feedback is always appreciated. So thank you for this. We don't have anything further. Sheriff, thank you. Thank you for making it help us get to a quorum. Have a great day. I do want to let's see, further meetings that we'll have some standard agenda items. There will be a meeting with, I'm probably going to have council come and talk about our bylaws, and I may reach out to Christina, just some history. Seth Lyons is no longer the local office for DHS, and we have a new representative, but it's not called out specifically in our bylaws about that particular position when I was talking to council on it. So we just need to have some dialogue of what we want that to look like. If we want to make changes to that, we'll continue to have membership questions or kind of that, what we want to see moving on. But that was one, just because I know he's been a big participant in LIPSIC, and I really acknowledge that his service to LIPSIC over the years and participating and being active members appreciated. But it was not just an automatic that we'd have the representative from DHS be a member of LIPSIC. So there was some legalese I'm trying to work through on that, so our bylaws reflect that correctly. But Christina, I need to connect with you just because you were the prior, and maybe you have some history on that we can discuss later. But yeah,
Hey, Malcolm, do you know if Seth will continue on the LIPSIC subcommittee, the Advancing Racial Equity and Public Safety?
he would not, no.
Okay.
Those are discussions. Subcommittees have to have a certain percentage of LIPSIC members on them. And I have to refer to the bylaws. So we'll have to look at that and ensure the subcommittee has the appropriate number. I feel like we had a good, with Luke being a part of the membership now. Also Luke Chief Straight, I think we're there, but yeah, we'll need to refresh that. I'm just coming back, and I know we've had some talks about the overall membership and what that needs to consist of moving forward, but just wanted to bring that up there because I wanted to acknowledge, Seth's contributions to this group. Yeah, and if anyone would like to volunteer to help with the Justice Reinvestment 10% Victim Services application process, or has done it in the past, I'd appreciate that. Reach out to me, or I may just reach out to you. Those are the things kind of in the future for us for the next couple meetings that I foresee. And hopefully we'll have the presentation come back that was scheduled. Unfortunately, they had to cancel. All right. Any other items or prior to opening up to any public testimony? No. Scott?
We do not have any members of the public in attendance in the meeting right now. And let me do a quick check. We do not have any public questions or comments submitted via email.
Okay. Then we can conclude. Everyone have a great day. Enjoy the time that you got back, and take care and stay safe.
Thank you.